Hey guys, Joe from J&M here. Thanks for clicking on our video. This week we are doing a 6.5 yard colored patio. We're going to be doing a checkerboard picture frame pattern. So stick around, watch us tear it out, get it prepped, and get it poured. Thanks for stopping by. Leave us a like, subscribe. Have a great day, guys. So tearing this out was kind of easy. It had a rebar, but that MT85 with that Bobcat MB140 just tore through it, got it knocked out. This got prepped before we started the project from our previous video. We had to prep this and then wait till the following week to pour it because at the end of this week, after prepping this, the weather was a little iffy and we didn't want to deal with bad weather when we were pouring color concrete, which we were glad we waited. The day of the pour, the weather was amazing. But all in all, tear out went pretty good. Customer had cleared out all the rocks on the surrounding area, so all we had to worry about was our concrete. And it wasn't that hard. It was a large project, and the pour was actually the harder part of everything here. While prepping this, we had to move a drain line that was coming off the corner of the house there where that sliding door is, and the customer came in and reinstalled it. But the thing that stood out that we really appreciated from our customer is when they reinstalled it, they made it so that it went around the outside of our form and then under the slab as opposed to just straight down and into the slab, which would have messed with the aesthetic appeal of the job. We would have got it done, but we just were really happy that that black pipe you see laying there, he reinstalled it, but it was outside of the form, which makes a really big difference. You can also see that we're on a pretty decent slope once you get to about the window right behind the Bobcat. I ended up adding a step right where that window was, just so that at the far end of this patio, it wasn't that big of a drop off. It was still about 10 inches, but it's a lot better than dropping off 17 inches, just safer. Customer was okay with it, we were too, and we were just glad that everything worked out with that design. I started grading the top here, thought I was close, had to bring in my rod, check our thickness. I was off by like half an inch, so I came in, scraped it off again, made sure it compacted, and got it to where we needed it. Came back with the rod, double checked, make sure our thicknesses where they were. Ideally, you want 4 inches everywhere. Naturally, with what we do, it'll be between 3.5, 4 inches, but we got it pretty close. The soil is really hard on this job. Had a couple jobs in a row already where the soil is really stable, which is really good. Did about 5 passes in total.
Okay. You want to tell our viewers what we were just doing?
So what I'm doing here is the stakes that I set my forms with can hold back quite a bit of weight, but to ensure that they stay straight, especially on these thickened edges, I make sure that my kickers are in place so that when that additional weight comes in and pushes up against the form, it won't bow out. Now, the size of the kicker kind of matters as long as it's a decent, at least 4 or 5 feet, and you drive in a stake on the far end. Just make sure it's nice and snug, and that should keep it in place. We started laying the rebar. My wife with her hurt foot. This was the job where she actually twisted her ankle that put her in the boot, but she was determined to help tie rebar. I mean, hardest working person I'll ever meet. I'm honest. Just she went through it, got it done. I was laying the other side. We put our chairs under there, got it ready. We did take off the chairs when we started pouring, but we lay them out to make sure roughly where we want them, and then propped it up. Those chairs are 1.5 inches. The slab is 4. We put it in the compression zone. Some people say in the middle. I don't do it like that. All right, guys. We got the old patio tour out. We got the new one framed. Rebar is laid. Soil is compacted. Kickers are in. Everything is good to go. We'll be pouring it next week. But let's take a look at that pour, see how it goes out. Let's hope it comes out well. Since this had a lot of little details, we poured it a little wetter than what we usually do. We did about a 4.5, and then you take that with the fact that it's color, fiber, it sets up pretty quick. I mean, it set up pretty quick as we were pouring it. You're going to see in the video. You can also see here, as I pour it out, we come in, raise the rebar back to where it needs to be, make sure it's propped up in the right space. If the rebar is laying on the ground, it's basically useless, and you want to make sure it needs to be where you want it to be.
Cuidado con el vidrio de la ventana. Put the camera to this young boys. I'm too old. Well, okay, it's good because they know that you have experience in the job, so that's okay then. no se quiere hacer sale allí y en estos últimos yo me los aviento por una y por la otra. Ya hay vuelta, que venga zapatos de joven. Estos yo me los hago por uno y por el otro. Estos ya hacen a mí. Allá se va para encima.
Si lo dan a la mitad Johnny y tú le das de la mitad para allá para no meterme a porque se va a quedar.
Sí, yo.
¿Sí la tengo donde quieres?
Sacando.
Este iba a ser más chiquito, pero mucho más detalle lo veis. Y luego ya la orilla, pues eso de las orillas lo dejamos para el último. Si tenemos chance, ya la hacemos para que le conté, porque cierre eso le... Yo traigo el orillero chiquito. Va a ser para el face del escalón de un dedito.
Ahí hay más
Y
orilleros.
luego en su orilla ya. Ahí lo tengo aquí, va a sírvelo. Ahí. A ver para acá. Este cuadro ya también está quedando sin...
Ahí lo tiene. Ahí enfrente usted está pancita para el lado de la calle. Ahí así, haga para el lado suyo. Ahí así. Yuri. No puede ser triple A.
¿Me agarró otro tubo?
Ahí está. Casi me animaría a ver el jale. Casi me animaría.
As you've been watching, we've been doing that picture frame checkerboard pattern. What makes this difficult is as you're brooming it, someone has to come back and go over it with the joiner again. And on bigger squares, it's hard to do that. So you have to use kind of a little broom, mark the edge of where the joiner will be, go over with the joiner, have the other broom finally go over it completely without erasing the joiner. So it's a fine balance, and it's one of the reasons you see kind of different textures depending on how the sun hits it, because the little broom's a little rougher than the normal broom. I mean, it's a balance of what you're doing and how you're doing to make it happen. It's very difficult to do this, in my opinion. You need a lot of people and a lot of coordination, but when it comes out, it looks amazing, in my opinion.
En Facebook con 5. No agarre el join, no se pase el join. Bueno, que lo puede volver a remarcar, que le hace y de allá lo remarca. Sí, que le hace, ¿ah?
Y lo dele para adelante, pa.
Sí, Ronaldo, que está muy primero.
Ahora dele para adelante.
Porque está muy...
Ciérrala. Que ejemplo sea un pinche detallito de una jega que me estoy metiendo yo. Hasta hoy trabajé yo. Pues qué chingados pasó si hasta hoy que trabajé.
Cuidado con las malas palabras.
Que le vale ver, que llegaste todo. Pues,
El otro día
nos duró un rato para pagarnos el güey, fuimos para el lado de la moza.
All right, guys, pour went well, kind of hard. There was a lot of details we had to work on, but it came out really, really nice. Take a look. You can't really see the checkerboard pattern now. You can a little bit, to be honest, but it came out really nice. We reshined all the edges. Each square is broomed in a different direction. Came out really nice. The sun's kind of high now, so you can't see it, but earlier, oh, this thing looked amazing. But there it is, guys. Poured 7 a.m. 4,000 psi microfiber mesh, number 3 rebar, 2 feet off center. Everything looks amazing. The customer and his wife were really happy. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a great day, guys.